Have you figured out your part-time lovers in your life? These are behaviors and actions that we do that we think we're doing the whole thing, but we're really not. We're veiled in patterns, generational curses, societal norms to make us think that we are doing it when somewhere inside we're not feeling like it's happening. We're learning that by doing it all, it's not the same as having it all. And even when we do have it all, it doesn't feel good. It feels ho-hum. Why is that? Here is my reasoning, and I am so glad you're here for this series. And if you check out my last couple videos, I've already taken care of the health and the beauty. Why do we feel like we need to chase these things that are no longer necessary? Us being beauty standard, what does that mean? In society, it means that you're 7'5" and 100 pounds, that you have high cheekbones and you look good without makeup. But in the real world, beauty is health. And if you adopt your health as a full-time lover, then you are going to be able to kick that faux MRO once and for all. So this week, let's talk about boyfriends. Boyfriends are the biggest false lover there are, because they're literally our lovers. And what this does for us is it gives us the false illusion of commitment, because we're just playing the roles. We're playing the roles our parents played. We're playing house. We're having fun. We're having children. But he's just a boyfriend. So what does that mean to your heart? Maybe nothing. What does that mean in society? It means quite a bit. Because if anything happens to this man, death, he leaves you for another woman, anything happens to this man, he gets disabled, who's going to support you and those children? Now what we've done is we've created a situation for ourselves where we are not covered because we are not legally connected to this guy. And what makes boyfriends a false lover is that we are not equal. A woman and a man are not equal. We're not equal even if we throw equal stuff in. Because even if we just take a look at our appearance, women spend a lot more money on our appearance than men do. Because that is how we're wired. And when we get caught up in a boyfriend situation where things are 50-50, and I'm mostly talking about the women in the second half of their lives. We have our own homes, we just get together. What this is doing is this is siphoning your energy. You're spending all of your money on your survival and your beauty, and this man is siphoning your beauty and your compassion and your soft heart from you without feeding into it. And before you say, oh, he splurges, no, he needs to totally encompass you with provision before he enters you sexually, emotionally. Any physical kissing, petting, anything like that before commitment, what that does is that puts you in a very vulnerable position. Because last week I talked about our hormones needing 28 days to repair our bodies. Our hormones run the show. And if we haven't listened to our hormones our whole lives, taking medication to shut them up, then what makes you think that we're going to listen to them now? That they are probably one of the strongest cocktails on this planet to bond you with another man. Once you start becoming physically intimate, your body takes over without your permission. When you become emotionally vulnerable with a man, you can certainly get your hormones up and running too, because it's your emotions he's siphoning. And that's why your hormones want to bond with this man, because your body's feeling the siphoning. So if you're giving, that means we're bonding, right? No, not yet. Not till you know he is at your value level. If he is not at your value level, he's not a high value man. He could be rich and successful and whatever, but he could be a snob. He could be a philanthropist, a cheater. He could be, whatever those things are. If that is not high on your value list, integrity and loyalty, then even though that man looks great in society and on paper, he's a false lover. Getting to the bottom of people's personality and character before you allow them access into your life, especially men, is so important, because men need women. Women don't need men. And in 2026, this is more true than ever before. And science is uncovering even more ways that women don't need men. So how do you know this is a part-time lovership? How do you know this boyfriend is not moving into a committed relationship? If you're living out your dream life unsupported financially, if he's not putting land and assets into your name, if he's not investing in your business, whether you're married or not, if anything happens to this man, are you able to survive, or have you spent all your money? Words over actions. If he is not claiming you, if he is not introducing you to people he knows, this is where the words over actions are going to feel a little off, because typically we want to listen to the man's actions. But if his words aren't showing up, introducing you to people he knows, introducing you to his family, his sisters, his buddies, giving you inside information, then you're not the prize. He has not claimed you. He may be buying dinners, you might be seeing each other once a week, but if you are intimately involved with a man before he has committed to you, and that's ring on a finger, then you are risking this not working out. Because being the prize means he needs to work for the prize. And the more he works for that prize energy that you're now establishing within yourself, the more he's going to fall in love with you. And that's different for women. Women, we need to be reciprocal. For men, no, not reciprocal. We pretty much need to be useless. We don't have any money. We never have any time. We never have any energy for them. They're the ones that have to unload our mental energy, unload everything in the 3D for us, so that we can move into supporting them emotionally and spiritually. Boyfriends are a false lover because they're not backed up by anything in any of the spiritual texts. If you look at any of the religions, being a girlfriend is not in there. And it's because women were never meant to handle everything on their own and entertain a man physically. But this is the conditioning that we were raised in, bringing home the bacon, frying it up in the pan, and never, ever, ever letting him forget he's a man. Welcome to the Anjali generation of the 70s. That's how the women were raised. So how do we know? How do we know that the boyfriend is a false lover? It's because we start losing attraction for him. We start getting irritated by him. We start getting frustrated with the things we do. We find ourselves looking at him and going, what did I see in him? And that's that very powerful bonding cocktail wearing off in your body, and the reality that this man was never at your standard, and your body is crying it. You're exhausted, you're tired, you feel used, you feel duped. That's how you know. You feel unseen, you feel duped. So here's the information that I want you to take away with today before I tell you how to become a full-time lover with your boyfriend, is that men and women are physiologically, psychologically wired different. We look similar, but we're different. And if you get the opportunity to sit out in nature for an extended period of time, maybe over 2 or 3 days, maybe every weekend for a month, and give yourself the opportunity to see how nature works. Nature doesn't push, it doesn't chase, it doesn't create chaos to get stuff done. It has its own timing. So does a woman in her cycles. So does a man. And when we honor that timing, we know that we are different than men. We know that our power does not lie outside of us. In order to become the full-time lover, the boyfriend really needs to leave, and a husband or a committed partner needs to come in. Now, it can be the same man. But giving that man the opportunity to crash and burn and come back, the man that you need, needs to be done. If you are with a boyfriend and you're starting to feel some of this ickiness with him, downgrade your relationship. Stop sleeping with him and downgrade it and say, you know what, I was really looking for something that was more sustainable. So I am no longer, I am looking for a husband. I am looking for the lifetime partner that is going to provide for me. So you are now have been downgraded to one of the men I'm courting. And that's a hard thing to do. Dating by Design gives you your right to design your program, whether you're married or not, because this is dating, mating, and playing. Hold on. Alexa, off. My beautiful masculine container. When we're dating, mating, and playing in the world with half the information, we're not making educated decisions. So knowing this, knowing that we're different, gives you the opportunity to dig a little bit deeper. I took a class at my local community college, and it was like a 101 class or a 104 class or something like that. And it was evolutionary psychology, and wow, that blew my mind. If I knew this information sooner, I would not have given myself up to any man before marriage. And I would have instinctually known that giving myself to this man is the best gift for him. It's not just normal. When we tasted the importance of living life outside of the home, it was a game changer for women. We couldn't come back. We tried twice. This is the third time we're going to come back. I hope women come back into the home this time around and embrace their femininity, because with that femininity comes the survival of the fittest, you desiring the best for your children, for yourself, for your life, is you upgrading everyone in your life, including him. Even if he complains, oh, you are high maintenance or you're asking for too much, then you need to be able to allow him to go. If he's truly in love with you, he will step up. But you have to give him that chance without tampering, and that's hard to do. Society and societal pressures, yeah. So, how to become the full-time lover when you have a boyfriend? Rotational date. That's how you do it. Make sure that you are intentionally dating for marriage. You take sex, kissing, petting, all that stuff off the table. You might kiss goodnight, allow him to kiss your hand, maybe not give him a hug right away because they desire that energy. So you're not withholding it. You are being selective at the beginning of your relationship so that he knows he needs to invest in you in order to get the hug. He needs to invest in you in order to get the things he wants. He can decide what he wants to invest, whether it's money, time, planning. But if you're investing in you and you're planning and you're doing all that, you don't have a full-time lovership with your boyfriend. You're only part-time. And here's the kicker if you're putting money into the relationship. If you're putting money into the relationship and taking care of you, you're getting hit twice. And this is what he's doing when he's putting money only 50% into the relationship. He's saving the other 50% for his leveled up woman. Make sure he's spending 100% on you. All right, ladies, check out Dating by Design if you want to up-level your dating experience or even your experience with your husband or your fiance or your committed partnership that you feel safe in because you are financially and mentally contained. That is his part of your relationship. And once that is in place, you can swoop in with your beautiful, soft, emotional, and spiritual support that he probably doesn't even know he needs, but he needs. All right. I'll see you in all the places, ladies.